here we are. Check this out. I mean, I got my mirror finish. Man, it's still kind of unbelievable from what this went to. And I did every bit of this myself. I haven't had one professional do anything. I took the sights off. And I did all the polishing myself. And it's really not as hard as a lot of the videos on YouTube make it look. It really isn't. All you need is a couple of different types of sandpaper, a little bit of time, a Dremel from Lowe's, and a buffing kit from Lowe's. You can get a cheap Dremel from Lowe's. I already had one. You can get a cheap Dremel from Lowe's from anywhere between, I think I saw a cheap one for about $35. And they go all the way up to like $200. But man, all the way up and down this thing, it's beautiful. There's still some pitting in the metal right there. That's just from the age of the gun. It's really old. All those little dots and stuff you see, that's not scratches, that's just the pores in the metal. They're just deep. Age is taking its toll on this thing. But man, is this not beautiful? I love how this came out. I mean, it's beautiful. It's awesome. But like I said, all you need is a couple of different types of sandpaper. I started out with 60 grit, went to 100, and I went, this direction with the entire gun, because at first you're gonna give it a grain. You scratch in the same direction all the way up and down. I kind of did it in maybe 5 or 6 inch sections all the way around the gun. And you just got to work with it. You got to get all the rust off there, all the finish off there, or whatever you want to do. And you got to sand on it for a while. I just went and bought the little pieces of square sandpaper that you can get for a handheld sander, and bought a package of them. There's like 5 pieces of sandpaper in each package, and you just got to work on it. Like I said, I started at 60, I went to 100, then I went to 220, and 220 was all that Lowe's had. Okay, so I went to Michael's, and in their model car section, they had a little package of little sandpapers. I want to say there were 2 squares, about maybe 3 by 3 squares of sandpaper. There was about, I want to say there were 5 different grains. They had all the way from, I think it was 100, 220, 320, 420, and then 600. And it tells on the back of the package, and there were like 2 or 3 strips, 2 or 3 little 3 by 3 squares of the sandpaper in there. And I started at the 430 or whatever it was I said a minute ago, and then I did the 600. And then I had to go to Home Depot, and Home Depot had 1,200 and 2,000 grain sandpaper, but they were huge. They were really big. They were like the size of, regular printer paper. And there were, I think, maybe 5 big sheets of it in a package. They were about $8 a piece. And yeah, I went from 600, then I did 1,200, and then what I did with the 2,000, I kind of did a wet sand with it. I got some hold on. I got some of the good old Hops number 9 gun oil that comes in any cheap little uh, gun cleaning kit. I'll show you what I got. My little Hops number 9 gun cleaning kit. This came from Academy for about $10. This was in it along with a bottle of bore cleaner. And like I said, I took the 2000 grain and I wet sanded it. I greased this entire barrel to where it was dripping from the inside and out with that Hops number 9 lubricating oil, and I wet sanded it. And I did that for a couple of hours. I sat here and sanded the crap out of it and got a nice sheen going. And then, like I said, I got my Dremel and I went and bought. I don't have it out with me. It's out in the little shed. But my Dremel and a polishing kit from Lowe's came from. It came from Lowe's for $5. It was like $4.90 something. Had 6 buffing pads, 6 felt pads in it. Had a couple of little bits to put on the end of a grinder. It was awesome, and it even comes with a little bitty can of Jeweler's Rouge, but I didn't use it. You can. I'm not sure how it works, but this is what I used. Mother's Mag and aluminum polish. This is at Walmart. Any Walmart in the automotive section. I think this was like $7. And this stuff, you see what it did. Okay. I'll show you. This stuff worked wonders, I'm telling you. I didn't think it would work as good as Jeweler's Rouge and stuff would, but it worked fantastically. See, that's what it looks like. Kind of creamy. It has the consistency of butter. It's weird. What I do, I just stick my finger in there and slide it. And I did just a couple of inches at a time, about 3 inches at a time, and covered the outside. And then I'd buff it with that Dremel. And then you got to wipe it off because it leaves kind of a black residue while it's buffing. It's cleaning. It cleans the pores out of the metal is what it's doing, and it takes a whole bunch of. It turns real dirty. It turns to it gets black really, and it looks. Unless you've ever messed with it before, you're gonna think, oh crap, this is bad. It's not working. No, it's gonna get black. All you got to do is wipe it off. I went and bought a little package of t-shirts for $2 or $3 at Walmart, and that's what I used it for. That's what I used to clean them off. One I kept, didn't use. The other 2 or 3 that was in there, I used for wiping all that stuff off. And when you wipe it off, this is what it looks like. You can see me waving from behind my phone. It's just, I can't believe how good it came out. It really doesn't look as good from the camera as it does in person. Like I said, those aren't scratches. That's just, this thing was made in the 30s. So it's a Ward's Western Field. From what I've found, it was made between 1934 and 1937, I think, this particular model. So, yeah, it came out amazing. I can't believe how good it turned out. I'm really happy with the results. The next step is working on the stock and finding the rest of the parts for it. But I'll show you the end of the barrel here, too. Nice and shiny. I don't want to touch it with my bare hands because it's so perfect. But yes, it just came out so good. I'm so happy the way it turned out. So, but yeah, hard to believe it came from a rusty old piece of metal to this. You know, it's taken me almost 2 weeks. You know, I've got a full-time job. You don't work. You know, this could probably take you a couple of days, maybe 2 or 3 days if you work on it straight. But very well worth it. Now I'm finna work, like I said, I work on the stock. Probably gonna paint it some kind of cool camouflage and leave this chrome. Be really cool. So yeah, there it is. Finished piece. Looks fantastic. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you liked it. I love it.